Hello everybody and welcome back again to what I assume is going to be the final episode of Tomb Raider. I am at the point of no return. Apparently this is the last camp before I can't go back to the previous camps anymore. So before starting this episode, I traveled back to the research base to finish that last challenge, and I got an achievement for it, so I'm going to assume I finished all the challenges. Which means I have pretty much 100%ed everything up until this point, and I can just go through the door now and play the rest of the game without having to go back anymore. So yeah, let's do this. I don't think there's anything in here that I need to look at. Let's just open the door and let's pass the point of no return. Yep, here we go. Lara is unable to fast travel after this camp, yes. Let's do this. Okay, what are you looking at? Do we see Sam somewhere over here? I don't. It's an impressive place, though.
No, please!
Ah, here we go.
Why are you doing this, Matthias?
Do you think that you're the hero, Lara? Everything I've done, I did to survive. How many lives have you taken to do the same?
A lot? But they all attacked me.
There are no heroes here. Only survivors.
Himiko's dangerous, Matthias. She's angry, she's vengeful, and she has real power.
A mere mortal for a queen? A good trade for our freedom, I'd say.
Oh dear. So where does this convenient fire come from? It's blocking my way inside. Let's look around a bit. Oh, I guess there's like a little door over here. Yes, there is. Okay. I can pick up even more salvage. Salvage that I don't need anymore, but I'll take it nevertheless. Okay. Now I have to get over here, I guess. There we go. Can I make this jump? It looks a bit strange. Okay, but it works. Well, I see. More climby rock. And now I jump over here, I guess? Alright. Okay. Made it up here. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I have to do something with this bell, right? And the door over there. Let's see. If I use this, will it actually... No, this will not open the door for me. Let's see, what if I do it from over here and pull it directly into my direction? Not really? Nope. There's some kind of trick to it that I need to figure out. let's put it over here. Oh, I did not expect that to work. But okay, it worked. It worked. And again, the place is coming apart. And the bell just disintegrated into nothing. That's weird. Why does this collapse now? It's been standing here for centuries. Okay, is there anything to attach this to? I only see bell over here. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. But I guess we're going to do it. Alright, I could actually use my rope climber. I totally forgot about that. Oh, is this interesting? Can I make that jump? How am I supposed to make that jump? This seems to be a little bit more doable, right? So let's do it. Okay, here we go.
Lara, watch out! Those bastards are heading your way. We did everything we could to slow them down.
Oh dear.
Thanks, Reyes. Get to the boat. If I'm not back...
We're not leaving without you. We'll be waiting.
Well, at least they're still alive. The samurai didn't kill them. Okay. Guess I can make this jump. Oh, and I need to climb the climby rocks. And double jump. There we go. This is a very long way up. Okay, we got another pole over here. Uh-oh. What? Why is this happening? Why is the rock exploding? This place is weird. Okay, if I can go over here and yeah, let's use the rope assembler now. Well, that is interesting. Can I make this jump? Okay, I can. And now what? Oh, do I have to drop down and then attach to the rock below me? Yes, I have to. Alright, that works. Right. I see, I can climb up here now. Okay. Alright. Ziggurat Vestibule. Let me fill up on ammo. Got another camp here. Yes, I can't level up because I have all the skills, I have all the gear, so I'm only doing this to save. And we'll be moving on. So, why exactly is this on fire? I don't know. Apparently, stuff in Alara's vicinity just incinerates spontaneously. And more spontaneous disintegration. Alright, more climby rock. I think we're finally getting to the top though. Well, Unless everything is going to collapse on me. Let's get over here. Why is this happening? Seriously. Okay, here we go. I think we made it.
Oh, great queen! Through the trials, I have brought you the vessel. Pour forth and return to this mortal coil. Pour forth and be reborn. Pour forth and awaken.
Okay. Well, yes, quickly. Oh, we're going to have to fight her in the end. Right, let's see. Kinda hard to move against this wind. Oh, we already have enemies. Where do they come from? I didn't see them coming at all. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, now I see them. Alright. Another one over here. You are dead. And now they're starting to throw explosives. Alright. I already see the next wave. Let's get a bit closer. Oh, and let's get away a bit for the shield guy. Alright. And let's finish him off. There we go. Now let's get back into cover. We still have more enemies over here. I think. I mean, you've just been throwing stuff at me. I know there's more of you. Well, maybe they killed each other. I don't know. But I don't see any more enemies. Alright. Let's loot all the bodies. Yeah, I know. I should kind of hurry up. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I see the samurai. Uh-oh. Well, I'm not sure if this is good or bad. But I see an alternative way to get up here. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure I didn't kill all these guys.
Stop me, you bastard! Get the hell out of my way!
Right. What she said. Come on, show me your face. There we go. Oh, I already see my next enemy. Let's get away from here. Oops. Ooh, what just happened with that body? And let's get away again. Alright. Headshot. And retreat. Do let's go over here instead. Alright. Oh, I see you over there. You are dead. You are dead. And yes, I see more people all the way over here. A little bit closer again. We can make this explode, for example. Oh, the wind is getting stronger again. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. We got more shield guys coming. I need some space to melee them. Okay. There we go. That guy is dead. And that guy is dead. Alright, alright. So how many more henchmen do you have that you can throw at me? I mean, you must be running out of people at some point, right? Who's shooting? Oh, I guess they're fighting the samurai? But why? You would think the samurai have an interest in getting a new queen as well. Uh-oh. Everything is just collapsing. Okay, but this time it actually worked in my favor. Do I have to loot any more bodies over here? I want to make sure I have all the ammo I can potentially get. Okay, I think I got everything here. So, I guess I will have to jump over here now. Let's do it. Oops. And now over here. Uh-oh. That's a lot of people. Oh, that's one of the big guys, right? So why exactly are they fighting each other? Don't they have like the same goal, like, you know, bringing back the queen? I guess a samurai just fight anyone who's like an outsider? Okay, and now I have to fight the big guy, of course I do. Let's see. Alright, I can shoot him in the back. He has no armor in the back. So, let's evade and shoot him in the back. Oh, and now I can melee him. Whoops, well, I guess that didn't work. Well, let's keep on trying. Evade. And let's do this again. I'm pretty sure I timed this correctly, but she can't actually melee him. Let's just shoot him a few more times. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I timed it correctly, so it's not that I, you know, miss a prompt or whatever. I guess I have to shoot him a few more times. He's pretty tough though. Ah, here we go. I may not have timed it correctly after all. Oh, what the hell? He's calling for reinforcements. He's calling for reinforcements. That's cheap. That's very cheap. You're already like twice as big as me. And now you're calling your friends. Let's try to finish off the small guys first. Okay, I think I have finished all of the henchmen. And now let's continue with the big guy. Oh, what the hell? Can I loot these guys? Yes, I can. Alright. Oh no, oh no. He's calling for more reinforcements. Okay. Let's do this again. I think I hit him. But it's not enough to actually kill him. Well, he's tough. He's really tough. And I can barely see my enemies in all of this snow and wind. Oh, but I think I already removed his helmet. So maybe I can headshoot him now. Oh, Mesh F. Okay, that's new. Mesh E. Alright. There we go. Well, that was interesting. But, big guy is dead. So, let me loot all these bodies because I used up a lot of ammo for this guy. And I haven't even fought Matthias yet. Then again, after fighting the Oni, how strong can Matthias be, honestly? Okay, let's move on. Sam needs our help. Okay, here we go. This is it. Left mouse? Oh, well, Swing X? Not sure if I properly hit those quick time events. Mesh E to defend. Alright. Alright. Oh, I have two pistols now. Yes, a classical Lara Croft double pistol. There we go. And of course, we had to quick time him to death. I guess after the Oni, they couldn't really make it more difficult. Did we do it? Let's just hope that the soul is not already transferred into Sam's body.
Oh, Sam. Thank God. Laura. What's happening?
I'm here. You're safe now. It's okay. It's okay.
You saved me. I knew you would.
I made you a promise. Let's get you home.
I know the sun comes out again. Okay, well, how symbolic. But apparently we managed to save her in time and the soul has not been transferred yet. At least it doesn't appear that way. Alright. We did it.
There's Lara! She's got Sam! She did it.
I think she's going to be okay.
What happened up there?
It's over. We can go now.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
I've been so blind, so naive. For years, I resented my father, doubted him like the rest. But he was right about so much. I just wish I could tell him that now. There are so many mysteries that I once dismissed as mere stories, but the line between our myths and truth is fragile and blurry. I need to find answers. I must understand.
Okay. Achievement unlocked. The survivor is born.
Making me waffles before the ballet class.
Need anything? Don't really know what happened to you on that island. Judging from those wounds and that look in your eyes, I'm guessing I don't want to know. Anyway, we'll be home soon.
I'm not going home.
Survivor is born. Okay, so I guess it really is the end. For some reason I was still expecting something to happen. You know, maybe Himiko made it into Sam's body after all. But I guess we managed to save her just in time, and this is actually the end of the game. Okay, I want to talk a bit about the game. I don't think I will have to make a special episode for this, especially since this one is shorter than usual, so I'm just going to use the credits to talk a little bit about the game. I don't really have that much to say. I mean, it was relatively short, but let's share a few thoughts on the game anyway. So usually when I make my verdicts, I talk about two different aspects of the game. First of all, the technical aspect, like the gameplay, the graphics, and so on. And then the, let's say, creative aspects, like story and characters, and so on. And as for the first aspect, the technical aspects, there isn't really that much that I would criticize. First of all, the game looked really nice. I mean, it's not like a super old game, but it's not brand new either. It's 6 years old, and I'm pretty sure I have seen games about that old that did not look that good. So I would say it held up pretty well, and it still looks pretty up to date. So I don't really have anything to criticize in that regard. And they obviously went for a very cinematic style. They had all these, let's call them scripted events, you know, when stuff just kept falling apart around Lara. I would even say they used it a little bit too much. You know, in the very first episode, when Lara was trying to escape from that cave, I kind of made a joke about that, you know, usually the collapsing stuff happens at the end of the game. And in this game, it basically happened all the time, to a point where you basically expected it all the time. So, yeah, it was exciting and all, but the novelty was gone pretty quickly because it just happened so often. And at some point it was almost like a running joke, how everything started to collapse the moment that Lara came near it. So I think a little bit less of that might have been more effective in the long run. as for the gameplay as such, I think that was actually pretty great. I mean, it was fluid, it was responsive, and except for her occasional habit to miss zip lines and such, I didn't notice any wonkiness or whatever. At first I was a bit disappointed that she didn't have her trademark double pistols, which she then got for like the last 5 seconds of the game. But then I had so much fun playing with a bow that I didn't really miss the pistols at all. As a matter of fact, as you probably have noticed, I had so much fun playing with a bow that I barely used any other weapon at all. I don't know, it was just very satisfying to headshot people with a bow, so that's why I used it all the time. What else can I say about the gameplay? I did like the fact that they included the tombs. I mean, they may have been optional, and they were usually rather small, but I mean, it's Tomb Raider, right? So I'm glad they included some platforming and puzzle solving and didn't completely scrap it in favor of all the shooting action, of which there was certainly no shortage. So that's a plus for me personally. Now, I think that the platforming, as in, the jumping and climbing in this game, was fairly linear, so you usually always knew where you had to go next. This may or may not be a good thing, depending on your personal preference, but I seem to remember that in the old games it was a bit more open, and you had to try and figure out where you could go, and I think the jumpy puzzles were definitely more difficult. Sometimes you had to perform like combinations of jumps and mid-air rolls and stuff like that. Again, this is probably a matter of personal preference. I guess I wouldn't have minded if the parkouring had been a bit more challenging. Then again, I mostly died because I missed a jump or a zipline or whatever, so maybe it should not have been more challenging, I don't know. But overall, the gameplay gets a big thumbs up from me. A small minus for the many QuickTime events, although I have to say it was not quite as bad as the first hour or two of the game made me believe. QuickTime events seemed very prevalent at the beginning of the game, but it actually got a little bit better later in the game. And to be fair, at least the recent Tomb Raider games also had a lot of QuickTime events, usually within cutscenes, which I'm not a fan of. So that's definitely nothing new in a Tomb Raider game. But yeah, I think that's really all I have to say about the gameplay. It was a lot of fun, so there's that. So now let's talk about the narrative aspects of the game, like, for example, the story. And, well, yeah, there was a story, let's put it like that. It was not the most amazing story ever, but it didn't have to be. I would be lying if I said that the old Tomb Raider games had like a very intricate story. I think Tomb Raider was always a game that was more about gameplay and not so much story oriented. And that's completely fine, if you ask me. So I would say the story of this game was adequate. It was supposed to function as an origin story, and it certainly managed to do that. You could see Lara change and evolve over time, so I would say mission accomplished, right? I think that maybe they used a few too many tropes in the story. For example, we had like 3 instances of side characters dying while trying to save or help Lara. Now, this is a very common trope. For once, it's usually supposed to provide some kind of character growth for the protagonist. And very often it's also used as a somewhat lazy means to demonstrate what a great person the protagonist is. You know, everyone is willing to die for her because she's so great. The obvious problem here is that we barely had any chance to get to know these characters, so the emotional impact was, well, not that great. I would say the one that had the biggest impact was the death of Roth, because we got to know him the best. So, I don't know, maybe instead of repeating that trope 3 times, I guess they should have just focused on Roth and then made that death count a bit more, for example. I mean, they did try to introduce all these side characters via flashbacks and, you know, the journals and so on. But obviously, being a Tomb Raider game, the main focus was always on Lara, and it was always all about her. And that's how it should be. So, Tomb Raider was never about deep side characters. I mean, she did actually get some quirky sidekicks in the first reboot, but I can barely remember them at all. I think one of them was called Alistair, but that's about it. So, yeah, maybe they should have just focused on Roth as one important side character, especially since he was obviously the most important to Lara. And by doing so, his death would have been more meaningful in terms of the narrative, right? And I mean, then you have Reyes as like a second important side character. And I mean, I'm not saying the other characters should not have been added at all. I'm just saying that giving them 5 lines of dialogue and then killing them off isn't really doing much. So, kind of like the overkill of collapsing stuff, this was like literally overkill as well. And I think it would have been more impactful if they just focused on one death and made that one count. That's just my personal opinion on this. And yeah, that's most of what I would say. A few things that I have already mentioned, like Lara suddenly being unable to figure out why Matthias wanted Sam, even though she already had pieced it all together. That felt like a rather clumsy attempt to keep the tension and mystery alive for a while longer, and it wasn't really necessary because at that point I would say that most players already figured out what was going on. So it was kind of weird that Lara couldn't figure it out. But overall, as I said, the story was adequate, and I specifically liked the concept and the setting, you know, ancient Japan, because you don't see it that often, and you know, I studied it, so this was actually interesting to see for me personally. Okay, so the final question maybe, as someone who played the original Tomb Raider games, and for whom Lara Croft was something of a childhood hero. I mean, a badass female with guns, what could be more awesome, right? The answer, by the way, is a badass female with a sword, but that's a different story. So, the question is, was this a faithful representation of my childhood icon? Not quite like I remember her, and that's not because she's not badass enough. I think like halfway through the game she certainly was badass enough, but it was more of a angry badass and not a, I don't know, snarky badass as she used to be. And I understand why this is. It's an origin story, it's supposed to be more realistic and gritty, and it would not have made any sense for her to like churn out witty one-liners or whatever. And I mean, there have been darker versions of Lara before. I think that Underworld in particular was relatively dark, and well, Angel of Darkness, but I didn't play that one, so I can't comment on that. And personally, I preferred Lara when she was not quite as dark, but in this game, it would not have made sense to do it otherwise, so I understand why it is like this. So I guess I will have to see how her character develops in the next games. And yes, if you watched my recent update video, you will know that I intend to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a few games before that, but eventually I will get there, and then we will see how it continues now that the survivor is born, right? But yeah, overall a very fun game with some minor weaknesses, but I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you enjoyed my playthrough of it. So yeah, I think this episode uploads on Saturday the 13th, and as usual I will take one day off in between games. So the next game starts on Wednesday the 17th, and it's going to be Assassin's Creed Revelations. So I hope you're looking forward to that, but now for now let's call it a day. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.